When two people get married and they are compatible in all the important areas of relationship, marriage is already difficult as it stands. But when the two are incompatible, then the problems are multiplied. And that's why we are talking in this series of videos about deciding before getting married if you are right for each other, if you are compatible in all the main areas that could become potential areas of conflict, of problems when you do get married. We've talked about compatibility in maturity, physical appearance, and also intellectual compatibility. Today we're going to talk about two more points. And the first one we're going to talk about is cultural compatibility. Chris, the way a person is raised up, the way that a person acquires the values and the habits, the principles, according to the way he was taught and the environment he grew up in since he was a child, is a part of him or her, and inevitably these things are brought into the marriage, the culture of that person.
A very big part of the person, very big. I mean, it's the person, the way she was brought up, the way she has always dealt with life. And sometimes the culture is so difficult. I mean, the culture is so different that it makes it very difficult for two people from different cultures to, solve their problems after marriage. Because let's say he is very attached to his family. His whole family was always like that. Mm-hmm. They were always very attached. And she is very independent. She wasn't, she had a family, but it wasn't like that. So after marriage, they have the problem because the family is always in between mm-hmm. them. And she gets, she makes that a problem. Of course, it's a problem, but she needs to understand that that's the way he was brought up.
Mm-hmm. That's a part of him.
It's part of him. It's not that he's not going to change, but that's the way he was brought up.
So she'll start having problems that the mother-in-law is visiting too often, or he's calling his mom every day, or he wants to go visit the parents every weekend, and she doesn't like that. But that's a part of him, and she needs to observe that before. She might as well, as the years go by, get him to change, and he might as well.
And he does change. We
eventually,
change.
Because the parents will get older, they will have children of their own, and they will start forming their own family. But in the beginning, that could become an issue.
Yeah, that is an issue. Another issue is sometimes the way he handles situations or the way he speaks. Sometimes the man is too rough, harsh, mm-hmm. and that's how he was always like that. That's how his father is.
At the house, maybe in his house, they always shouted. Shouting was a common thing, mm-hmm. and it wasn't necessarily that they were fighting. It's just that they are loud. Sometimes a person is loud, and she's very, she gets easily hurt if she's spoken to in that tone. So she needs to see that as well as a part of him, as the culture that he comes from.
Yeah, so the culture, you need to understand the other person's culture and see if you're ready. Are you ready to go through, to wait for you both to get along mm-hmm. with your own culture, because both of us had different mm-hmm. cultures, and we had to deal with them.
Right.
But the secret is, are you ready? If you have to realize, are you conscious? Okay, he's like that. His culture is like that. Am I ready to go through that? Mm-hmm. Then okay, but you have to be conscious of that.
That's right. So when we talk about culture, we're talking about the way we do things. So pay attention to the way that he or she does things, the way he or she behaves, his or her outlook on life. Look out for those characteristics, because that's the culture this person is bringing into the marriage, and you need to see how compatible that is with your own culture. The other point that we want to talk about also is about compatibility in goals, in objectives in your life. Individually, we all have goals. When we are single, we have these objectives, we have this desire, this ambition to achieve certain things in life. But when we get married, then marriage is about walking together. So the goals must be meshed together. They must become common between the two of you. And you must support the goals, each other's goals. So you need to know what these goals are before you get married. You need to talk about what you expect to achieve in the future. You need to ask the other person the same question. And sometimes one person is very ambitious and has lots of goals. The other person doesn't. And that can be a source of frustration. You know, it's very common sometimes to find couples where one is always trying to pull the other. One is running ahead, the other one is slow, back, lagging behind. And it frustrates the one who has more goals and ambitions. So you need to see what they are. You need to see if they are compatible. For example, maybe the man wants to get married to have a wife who will accompany him, who will go with him everywhere, who will be the mother of his children. But she wants to have a career. She wants to be a businesswoman. She doesn't want to stay home and even maybe have children in the first few years of the marriage. So these are very incompatible goals in life. We normally see, for example, this problem very evident in celebrities. When two celebrities get married and both of them have careers that they don't want to give up because they want to pursue individually their separate careers even though they are now married, usually it doesn't work because one wants to pursue his goals, the other one her goals, and they start going apart. Because in marriage, when one is not supporting the others, when the couple does not have common goals, but rather they are two individuals following their own ambitions and goals, so they will start growing apart.
And they're not a couple.
Work.
They're not a couple.
They
because
can't.
A couple is everything's together.
That's right.
And this is like the key fact of a marriage, to be together, to be one.
Become one, build up each other, join strength and forces and achieve common goals. For example, you and I have very common goals. You do your thing, I do my thing, but we are supportive of each other. And there's no conflict.
And it doesn't come in between us.
It doesn't come in between us. And if it ever did, if ever does in the future, one of us will have to yield. We'll have to concede. And we'll have to say, okay, I'll give up that goal so that I can support you in yours. Sometimes the goals are conflicting and one has to sacrifice on behalf of the other. I remember a couple where the wife felt that she was very artistic and she had these talents and she wanted to pursue her talents in art, but the husband didn't have a job that could afford her not to work and just pursue her artistic goals. So she had to sacrifice or put that on hold at least until they could both be supportive of each other in her pursuing that goal. So if you're intending to get married to someone, you need to ask that person, what are your goals? And you need also to speak about your own. Reveal what you intend to do. Don't keep anything secret, thinking when I get married I'm going to do that, and you don't tell the other person because you're going to have a big unpleasant surprise later on. And if you see after discussing that your paths will go in opposite directions, then it may be time to reconsider this relationship because it may not really be the best for both of you. So that's 2 more points of compatibility, 2 more to go. Until next week, we hope you watch it again. Bye-bye.